Quiet neighbor hid a nightmare in his basement. August 11th, 2022. East Hamilton. A quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind with trimmed hedges, garden gnomes, and mailbox flags that signal friendly waves and forgotten bills. It was the sort of street where nothing serious ever happened, until one summer morning when a house near the cul-de-sac was surrounded by yellow tape. A neighbor had called in a noise complaint, nothing dramatic, just humming, soft, strange humming. The officers expected an elderly man asleep in front of the TV, but the basement told a different story. He always said good morning, mowed his lawn on Saturdays, even edged the sidewalk. Sometimes he handed out wrapped candies to kids on Halloween, even though his porch light stayed off. Everyone said Mark was a little lonely, maybe still grieving, but no one ever saw what was under the floor. No one thought to ask. Mark lived alone in House 47, a single-story bungalow with faded shutters and a wind chime that never seemed to move. He was a retired cabinet maker, quiet, polite, and always smelled faintly of wood glue and coffee grounds. After his wife passed from a long illness, Mark kept mostly to himself. His curtains were always drawn by 6 p.m. He didn't have pets, visitors, or a phone line. When the utility company came by to check his meter, he'd meet them at the door with a smile and say, "Basement stairs are rotted through, don't want anyone getting hurt." He always paid cash, on time, neat little envelopes. It started with a humming sound, not music exactly, more like a single tone, droning gently like a lullaby missing most of its notes. The neighbor, Mrs. Harland, thought it was a television left on. She knocked. The sound stopped. That night, while locking her windows, she noticed a shape in Mark's basement window. Pale, small, crouched. It wasn't moving. She stared for a full minute before it disappeared behind the curtain. She called the police, not out of fear, just concern. "A wellness check," she said. 2 officers arrived the next morning. Mark answered in his robe, smiling sleepily. Said he had trouble sleeping, liked to do woodworking late at night. They might have believed him if one officer hadn't noticed the vent on the living room floor. It was blowing cool air, but the AC was off, and the vent was breathing. Just a soft inhale, then a long, damp exhale. Mark didn't protest when they asked to see the basement. He looked almost relieved, said he needed to tell someone. He led them through the kitchen to a hatch behind the laundry table. Underneath was a narrow wooden staircase, surprisingly new. Below that, a pit, a rectangular space no larger than a closet, lined with acoustic foam. In the corner was a foam mattress, stained and dented with use. A 5-gallon bucket sat nearby, and against the wall, a teddy bear, threadbare with one eye missing. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling, swaying. On a crate, they found a notebook. It listed names, first names only. 1 per page, neatly dated. No one recognized the names. No one had filed reports. The last entry was written the night before. Ava, August 10th. Mark was taken into custody without a fight. He didn't ask for a lawyer. He just kept saying, "I couldn't help it. I just wanted to listen to the quiet again." He was never charged. There was no evidence of kidnapping. No complaints, no bodies, just a room, and a list, and a bear. But neighbors say the basement window still fogs up at night. They say sometimes, if you walk by after midnight, you'll see it. A pale shape crouched behind the curtain. Listening, have you ever lived next to someone, smiled at them every day, and never really knew what was beneath their floor? Subscribe for your next chilling whisper.